Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs, and today I want to show you how to change the silicone mat in a Neakasa M1. Now, if you've been on this channel for a while, you'll know that I purchased this myself back in July last year and been using it ever since, or I haven't, the cats have been using it ever since, and it is fantastic. It's nice and easy to use, it's nice and easy to clean, nice and easy to empty, and it is a great litter tray. Now, since making it, Neakasa have made a couple of small changes. So firstly, they initially released their silicone stickers because they realised that their mat was basically a little bit too slim. It needs to go higher up at the sides. And if your cat was a side peer, pee could get kind of under the mat. So they fixed this initially by giving people a set of 3M stickers that would go on the outside of the mat to kind of fix that seal. People had mixed opinions with them. Some people found that they stuck on really well. I was in that group, they stuck on perfectly well. They fixed that issue and they were great. Other people found that they didn't work very well for them. They couldn't get them to stick on. They were a bit fiddly to install. I did make an installation video for them. But ultimately, Neakasa needed to make a better mat, and that is what they have done. Now, the new mat does go up a bit higher at the sides and solves that side peeing issue. Now, personally, I think Neakasa ought to be contacting everyone who owns one and having like a kind of recall program, a bit like Apple did with the bumper cases with the iPhone 4 back in the day, where you got a free case if you have the iPhone 4. I think Neakasa should be giving a new mat to every single person who's got one of these. However, they're not. There's a couple of ways you can get one. You can purchase one. They are about £40 on the Neakasa website. There is now stock, I believe, in Germany, so they should be able to ship that to the UK now. And all of the mats that are being shipped as mats on their own are the new version. But you can also get one for free if you do have the side peeing issue and a bit of leakage. And I had a tiny bit of that, mostly when I was cleaning it. I found occasionally water could get through the gap. But obviously I thought, well, I'm going to play this a little bit and try and get one. So on screen, I'm showing you the email that I sent to Neakasa. I'll put the text for that below as well if you want to kind of paraphrase that, because that was the email text that made them go, yeah, we'll send you a new mat. So I got this mat completely free. Maybe my email content will help you do the same. I've got no affiliation with Neakasa. I don't really care what they think of these videos. I don't care if they know that I'm saying you, this is what you got to say if you want to get a mat. I'm just trying to help you guys out. So if you want the mat, that's the text I use to get one for free. They do sell them as well if you want a spare. Make sure you specify the colour you want as well, because they initially sent me a white one, which obviously didn't match my box. So I asked for the grey one and they sent that back out again as well. So let's get on with the video and let's replace the mat in the Neakasa M1. Okay, in this video, we're going to replace the silicone mat in the M1. Now, this is the new silicone mat, which has the edges that go up a bit higher, which means you don't need these sticky pads. So first thing I'm going to do is empty this litter. I'm going to do that by taking out the tray, putting in a new bag, and then putting the litter into that by pressing down the empty button. Okay, so we've got a variety of screws we need to remove. First, we're going to remove these two up here. These are just normal Phillips screws. You can do it with an electric screwdriver or a manual screwdriver. I would recommend when you put them back in using a manual screwdriver so you don't over tighten them, because of course they are in plastic. It's probably better just to use a manual screwdriver the whole time, so let's do that. Okay, so those two are removed. I've put them in a little pot. I recommend having a little pot just so you can keep all your screws in one place nice and safely, especially if, like me, you're going to clean this in between. I'm going to remove this one next and this one, and then same on the other side, because we're basically removing all the screws that are going to hold in this grill, so we can also give that a nice thorough clean. So let's do that. Okay, so now I've got 6 screws in there because I've removed all the ones holding that guard in. We've also got to remove these two here. So the ones with the arrows pointing to them, because they are also holding the mat in, so I'm going to take those out. So that goes 8 screws in total. Also worth noting, you do get some instructions with this on what to do. So there are 8 screws to remove, but it's much easier, hopefully, if I'm showing you this. And then final 2, we've got 2 here with 2 more arrows, which we're going to take out as well. Okay, so at this point we can pull off the litter guard, and Neakasa say you have to do this with force because I think it is clipped in, so we're going to pull this off. At the moment we don't need to move your stickers, but we will do that in a second, but we'll get this off first. And of course once it's off we can also really thoroughly clean this grate because I do find that stuff does get a bit trapped on that. So let's try and pull this off. Okay, that's the grate off. It wasn't too bad to pull off. It just took a little bit of wiggling rather than pulling. Obviously, you want to be a bit careful with it anyway. So that's off. You can see it has collected a bit of dust behind, so I'm going to give that a thorough clean. And that means the mat is basically now only being held in by these sticky things, which I put on, which came with the original one. So I'm going to remove those now. And then we'll just pull the mat out and I'll see if I can show you the differences between the mat and the new one. Okay, with those sticky pads off now, I can kind of show you what was going on, the reason Neakasa have actually updated the mat. Basically, there's some gaps kind of here, which meant that pee could get down the inside if your cat was a bit of a side peer. So that's where the new mat comes from. So this mat now should just pull out. Okay, so I've just cleaned all of this. I've basically just shoved it in the sink. I've cleaned the guard and everything is pretty much as clean as it was when I think I got it. And it's so much easier to clean without the guard in there and without the mat in there, but I wouldn't recommend cleaning it like that all the time because you've got these plastic screw holes and generally the threads on plastic things tend to wear down quicker. So I wouldn't recommend cleaning it by taking it apart all the time. Obviously I'm only doing it today because I'm putting in the new mat. So while that dries, let me show you the differences between the mats. So in my hand here is the new mat, the brand new silicone mat that's going to go in there. And here is the old one, which is just drying here. And the main thing you can see is actually when you look at the numbers, so you've got 100% here. And if we look at the 100% on the old one, you can see that it goes right up to the rim. So what we've got here is this kind of extra rim that goes around the top that should help create the seal much better. From what I've heard, it is much better and you don't need those stickers anymore, but obviously we'll see what it's like. And the whole thing does feel a little bit deeper as well. I'm not sure if that's just because this one is, no, it's definitely deeper. So the new one is definitely a bit deeper as well, which is going to be great. It feels more durable as well. I don't know if they've changed the type of silicone they're using, but it does feel a little bit thicker just a touch. So I will get this one in shortly when all that's dried and I'll show you getting it all back together again. Two other things to note that I noticed when I was putting the silicone back in, and I'm just showing you Neakasa's video of it now. Firstly, the percentages which used to be at the back of the tray, so where the guard is, are now at the front. So that's how you can tell if you've got the new mat as well. So if your percentages are at the front of the tray, you have the new mat. It's obvious that it goes this way round, even though it's not clearly explained in the video, because of where the kind of different bumps are, and it all kind of aligns with the shape of the box. So you can tell that quite easily, but it's worth noting that because you can tell which version of the mat you've got. The second thing to note is that whilst the video shows them putting the guard back in before you put any screws in, I found that the best thing to do is actually to put the mat in and then do the two screws right at the back where the guard is going to go first. And that's because trying to get the holes lined up was quite fiddly, and I actually found that I had to take the mat out and put the screws into the mat a bit to start with, just to help loosen those holes, take those screws out and then go in from the back as well. So I would put the guard in after you've done the screws on the back. So there you go, we've got a new silicone mat in Neakasa M1, and I'll put a comment below how it's going as I use it over the next few weeks. Generally, it looks like it's much better quality, it feels thicker, it goes up higher, and I think it is going to solve a problem for a lot of people on what is actually a fantastic smart litter box. And it's genuinely one I would recommend to people. I purchased it myself originally. I've got no affiliation with Neakasa, but there is an affiliate link below if you want to pick one up on Amazon or Neakasa's website. If you enjoyed this video, or if you've got any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys again soon.